Welcome everyone to another video, and in this video we are going to be featuring some battles from my very good friend Dave Deng. This is in a local Go Cup, which is actually worth a lot more points. As you can see, first place gets 50 points instead of the usual 15 in a league challenge. So there is a lot riding on these type of cups, which allow you to accumulate quite a bit of points. So let's go ahead and take a look at his team. His team consists of Medicham, Poliwrath, Shadow Swampert, Bastiodon, Shadow Dragonair, and a shiny Skarmory with the new buffed, well, not new buff, for the recently buffed Steel Wing. His opponent has Azumarill, Defense Deoxys, Skarmory as well, Dragonair, Daddy Cash, and Umbreon. So Bastiodon looks decent into this team. It's not obviously super strong against the, well, pretty strong against the Skarmory, and pretty strong against the Azumarill since there's no no Hydro Pump. And since these are open team sheets, then you are aware of the movesets. But let's go, and pretty good against the Umbreon too. So has a lot of really good neutral matchups, but does have some hard counters. Actually going against a very well-known community member in Kevin Saludaris. We're going to see Medicham into the Mudboy, and we're going to see a switch out into Azumarill. Very interesting here. Probably going to try to switch out, build up some energy. I like that play. And we will see how this is going to play out. Obviously, you're not going to shield because knows it doesn't have. Very interesting switching out here. Might have Skarmory in the back. So I like building up the energy versus the Azu since Azu's very bulky, doesn't do a ton of damage with its bubbles. And then it is probably a Skarmory in the back is what I'm guessing here. And we will see how this is going to play out. The clocks are almost up here. Controlling switch is obviously pretty important here. It's not necessarily everything. And going to go for the farm down. Okay, going to switch out right away. And then going to throw this dynamic punch. This is going to do quite a bit of damage. And the ice punch won't KO, but we'll see if this is going to be a mud bomb. Should be a Scald. And no attack drop, which is very unfortunate here. Going to go for the CMP tie with the dynamic punch. We will see whether or not we're going to see a shield or not. We do see a shield. Do we let this go? I think so here, right? Okay, going to shield. Would have survived there, so going to have to throw the ice punch. Could have thrown the ice punch the last one. I think it would have KO'd, but it did end up getting the shield anyways. And we're going to see, oh, it's actually going to be Defense Deoxys in the back. Going to throw the ice punch because it's kind of iffy here. Does have energy onto the Bastiodon. Going to switch out right into Skarmory. Actually, Dynamic Punch probably would have been slightly better against the Deoxys, but want to make sure to get the moves off first here. And they do go straight for the Thunderbolt. There is a risk of a catch here, but this is not too big a deal. Because the Skarmory should be able to survive a Thunderbolt. And it's unlikely the Defense Deoxys will... Well, let's see here. Should be, yeah, definitely will be able to make it to the... Gonna throw the Brave Bird to reduce the farm from the Skarmory. And does have a move on Bastiodon. But the question is here. Oh, waited for the move there, then switch and through the Stone Edge. A very nice play, because if that Defense Deoxys would have been able to throw a move at the Bastiodon, it might have been able to take it out. So a really nice play. Very well done. We're going to see Skarmory into Defense Deoxys. Defense Deoxys is kind of tough for this team here. We're going to see how this is going to play out. Going to go straight for the Brave Bird on the CMP tie. And we will see whether or not we will see a shield. Okay, gonna shield. Do you switch out to Swampert now? Or do you stay in? Gonna look to stay in. And we will see how this is gonna play out. Gonna catch the move onto Swampert. Very nicely played there. Nice catch. And we're gonna see the Shadow Dragonair. Kind of tough for this team. Gonna throw the Hydro Cannon. We'll see whether or not Kevin was counting. It was counting there. Do you go into Poliwrath here, expecting the Aqua Tail. Yes, very nice play. Maybe could still throw the Body Slam, but probably unlikely. Gonna throw the move here, and then gonna be able to counter down beforehand. This defense Deoxys is at very low HP. The Skarmory has energy banked, but this is very tough for the opponent. Gonna throw the Scald. Actually waited a turn to make sure that they didn't catch. No debuff there. It's a little bit unfortunate. I think you let this go. You're gonna shield. Would have survived the Mud Bomb there. And gonna throw the Icy Wind bait. I'm not sure about this bait here because the Skarmory has a move. But getting the guaranteed debuff means that you're going to be able to survive. Will we see a reset? I don't think it really matters here. Okay, yeah, they tried to make a catch here, but it doesn't really matter here because the Skarmory has just too much health and too much energy. Gonna throw the Sky Attack and gonna be able to throw another Sky Attack. Could have thrown the Brave Bird just for good measures, but this should be more than enough. And Dave Deng, 2 O's in the first round. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at the next team. The next team has Lantern, Medicham, Clodsire with Poison Sting, Earthquake, and Sludge Bomb. Artabac, I think that's a Artabac. Daddy Cash again seems a very popular pick here, and Lickitung. Lickitung does not have a lot of places to go with 2 steals and 2 counter users. And then it does a positive matchup versus Swampert, but Swampert can still do quite a bit of damage. So we're going to go ahead and see how this next round is going to go. Looks like it's going to try to lead Medicham into this next team, and we're going to see Medicham versus the Lantern, and we're going to see how these two are going to play it out. Does have 2 better answers to the Medicham, and they actually end up catching the Dynamic Punch on the opposing Medicham, which is a very nice play, but has 2 better answers for it. So trying to draw something out here. So I'm curious what the Medicham was supposed to draw out. Maybe the Skarmory. So maybe it's Artabac in the back, which would be kind of dangerous here to play it this way. Gonna throw the Ice Punch, wins CMP, aware of the IVs, and this next Ice Punch doesn't KO. So gonna switch out into Dragonair. Gonna look for the farm down, and we will see what's in the back. Dragonair looks pretty good into this back line, right? And they come into, interesting here, they come in with Lantern, probably going to try to absorb everything. Maybe they're trying to make a call here. I don't think he's shield here. They need 2 moves to KO anyways. Okay, gonna shield. I think the Surf was a little bit predictable there. Gonna let this go. And they do throw another Surf. And, oh, it's actually Daddy Cash in the back. ABA water here. Obviously, that makes sense because there's no grass, right? So gonna probably sack this, and then this game's over here, right? This Swampert is just gonna clean up. I could make a catch here, but I don't think it really matters. Gonna let this go. They do throw the Scald. It does quite a bit of damage. Gonna throw the Hydro Cannon. And they're going to throw another Hydro at this Whiscash. And we will see if this Lantern is going to have enough. It's unfortunately not going to, but this Swampert is going to clean up this game here and win. Very nicely played. Very interesting team comp from the opponent. And we're going to see Medicham into Medicham. Both these Medichams have Dynamic Punch and Ice Punch. So, but as you can see, Dave Dang has the Medicham killer. Medicham, as you can see, these counters are doing almost twice as much damage, which is pretty crazy here. And waits the turn, make sure that it doesn't catch on the Lantern or something else in the back. And we will see how this is going to play out. Still going to get, like, the Medicham's still going to be pretty low, but the energy on Medicham is pretty nice into the back line regardless here. Gonna wait the turn again, and does win CMP, so could take it out with this Ice Punch. Very nice. Wins CMP. Couldn't be able to control switch here. And we're going to see what's in the back. They actually end up shielding here. Maybe trying to predict the same backline here, but man, this gonna farm down with Swampert. Energy on Swampert, it's super dangerous here. And we see the Lickitung come in. Gonna throw the Hydro Cannon. Gonna need the Hydro and Earthquake probably to KO. I doubt 2 Hydro Cannons will KO, even though they do quite a bit of damage. Yeah. So gonna throw the Hydro. I would have kept farming there because it looks like the Lickitung threw on CMP, which could allowed you to sneak there. And then I think you or could no shield this too, right? But and here comes the Lantern. And gonna throw the Hydro Cannon. But this Dragonair is gonna be able to clean up in the back. I like this play. Probably a no shield from the opponent, which is perfectly fine here because he's likely just gonna Dragon Breath down this Lantern at this point in time. So I really like that play. And this is game over here, right? You just shield and Dragon Breath down. Not really too much the opponent can do. And the opponent is going to go up to a Thunderbolt. Doesn't really matter. They're not going to make it 2 moves. And then you just double body slam this Lickitung or farm it down. Gonna farm it down. Body slam wouldn't KO anyways, but they wouldn't have made it anyways. So gonna 2-0 again. And we're going to go into, into round 3 here, which is also going to be round 4 because I think they end up playing again here. Let me just pull up the game here. And the opponent has Cradilly, Skelleridge, Mandibuzz, Poliwrath, Shadow Dragonair, and Lickitung. Very interesting team comp. Medicham looks pretty good in this team. Obviously, I have to be careful of the Skelleridge. I would keep pronouncing that one incorrectly. This thing does have access to Disarming Voice. I doubt this Aquatail KOs. Probably puts it really low. We do see some extra farm here. Gonna shield. They did go over the Disarming Voice. And needs to throw before they reach it. Okay, actually gonna throw. Was that CMP high there? And they actually end up shielding here. Gonna shield and control switch. I like this play because the energy is pretty good. Okay, they actually come into their own Poliwrath here. A little bit tough here, but gonna be able to land this move. Probably gonna go into their own Poliwrath now. Yeah, gonna go into their own Poliwrath. And probably gonna look to counter down. All the moves are resisted. Icy Wind and Scald. We're gonna see the Scald. You can see, oh, unfortunate attack debuff there. But should be able to survive this next Scald. And we'll have a move. Oh, they actually no, it's the Icy Wind. I don't know why I said Scald there. And probably going to look to try to... Okay, going to throw the Icy Wind. I like this play here. Going to just debuff whatever comes in next, right? Yeah. And here comes the Shadow Dragonair. Unfortunately, it is not going to like these Ice Punches. It does quite a bit of damage, even though it's debuffed, twice debuffed. And Bastiodon is just going to be able to fast move down this Dragonair. Not too much you can do at this point in time. And actually not going to throw the Aqua Tail. It's not to give the opponent any information on how much an Aqua Tail does. I like that play by SS Thorn. It's a good strategic play. And we're going to see Dragonair versus Dragonair. And we're going to see, technically you can... Okay, I like this play too. I think you let this go. And then you... Okay, gonna shield. Okay, gonna look to control... Well, they might simulthane, right? Oh, no. Actually gonna be able to take it out. And they come into Poliwrath. Yeah, I'm not... I don't hate that play, but I also don't... Gonna let this go. We'll see if there's a Skull debuff, which would be pretty critical. No debuff. We'll see if Dave Dang is gonna get the debuff. If he does, then that's going to be pretty nice. Unfortunately, does not. Okay, they make a catch onto the Mandibuzz, but unfortunately, going to be met by the very tough Bastiodon. And with the attack fall, you're just going to go for a full farm down, then throw the Stone Edge into the Poliwrath. And this is game over here. This Bastiodon is just going to eat this Mandibuzz alive. Who's the scavenger? It looks like it is Bastiodon this time, feasting on the body of this Mandibuzz. And gonna let this go. And lands another Dark Pulse here. And then just gonna throw the Stone Edge right away. Yeah. And then you just, even the this move doesn't KO. They actually do end up throwing the Icy Wind. Getting debuffed here kind of hurts. And these counters are going to do quite a bit of damage. But they switches out to reset. And then the counter ends up KOing. Very nicely played. I think that was 2-0 there, right? So they're going into the playoffs here? Not quite sure. Anyways, we're going to see Dragonair into Dragonair. And we'll see how this is going to play out. Gonna throw. It looks like this Dragonair is content in terms of you let this go. Ooh, this is a little bit tricky here. And here comes Mandibuzz. Oh man, this is very tricky here. Ends up throwing a non-optimal timing because the switching is kind of tricky to do. The question here, it's going to be the same team, right? So controlling switch here was actually pretty important. You shield this here? Not sure. I don't necessarily see the win con here. 4. And then I think you have to do 1 and try to catch here. I doubt this. Oh, no. Okay. No. Okay. We'll survive this here. But honestly, you just come into Poliwrath, absorb it, and then... Okay, gonna throw the Icy Wind. But they're just gonna counter down. This is game over here, right? This Poliwrath is just gonna eat this Bastiodon alive. Very nicely played by the opponent. Controlling switch here was so critical. And unfortunately, gonna try to catch, but it's not gonna work. And probably actually survive the Scald, but the next counter will probably KO. Oh, no, 2 counters. Bastiodon is quite tanky there. And we're going to go into a 4th game here. I'm assuming this is the round 4 playoffs component here. Or this is the... Okay, picks up a huge lead here. And they come into Dragonair. Going to throw the Stone Edge. Both Medicham and Poliwrath can handle... Dragon can handle Mandibuzz. So we're going to see how this is going to play out. Do you see the body slam? Is it going to be a Poliwrath in the back? Going to shield. Can you counter down? Okay, not going to try to counter down here. Going to throw the Ice Punch, which is going to be enough. I don't expect this Dragonair to shield. And here comes Mandibuzz. Going to go for the Dynamic Punch. Does slightly more damage and is equally as efficient, so it makes sense to throw the Dynamic Punch. And as well, if they try to catch, it makes more sense. So we're going to see the Aerial Ace get thrown. And we're probably going to see an immediate swap into Poliwrath. Oh, very nice play. Predicting that the opponent was going to switch and going to throw the Icy Wind. I like that play a lot. That was a really nice play. And the opponent ends up shielding, gets the guaranteed debuff. Gonna let this go. We will see if the Skull debuff comes into play. No Skull debuff. That is absolutely brutal for the opponent. And gonna throw the Scald, winning CMP. This game's over here. With no debuff here, the Scald is gonna do enough damage. Honestly, it doesn't really matter if you shield or not. Gonna shield, and the opponent throws the Icy Wind. Gonna be able to counter down, but doesn't really matter here. And gonna throw this Icy Wind for good measure. Might even stay in this matchup because this Mandibuzz is gonna have a really hard time snarling down the... Nope, it's gonna switch here. It doesn't really matter here. Opponent doesn't bother throwing. Oh man, Bastiodon is eaten up and gonna actually choose to run no Bastiodon in this last game. We're gonna see Dragonair into Dragonair, and we'll see how this is gonna play out. And gonna throw the Body Slam. And gonna come into Poliwrath. Gonna let this go. And making this slight team adjustment here. And the opponent is trying to predict that there's gonna be a Bastiodon in the back. Unfortunately, that is not gonna be the case. I really, really like this play. You let this go. Gonna need to throw the Icy Wind right away. In order, okay. I think you let this go. This Mandibuzz is debuffed. Comes straight into Skarmory. And this Skarmory is going to be in a very good spot here. Gonna let this Dark Pulse go. It's debuffed here. We'll have to throw, though, at some point in time, right? Okay. Or just straight farm. I actually don't mind this play straight farm down either, right? So gonna shield. Needs to preserve a little bit of health here. And we will see what's gonna come in. Okay, they tried to make the catch there. I'm gonna go straight for the Brave Bird. I like this play because you kind of have to call it here. And the opponent realizing that the call was the most appropriate play there. Very nicely done. Very nicely played. That slight team adjustment then, because he's ran that team a bunch of times. Maybe that small team adjustment and figuring out how the opponent might read it was a very beautiful play. Very nicely done. Congratulations, Dave Dang, on the victory. Look forward to seeing more of your battles. And if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see everyone in the next video.